Hello, this is Cosmic Ninja, and I just want to say welcome. Please hit that like and subscribe button.
Hello and welcome. This is Cosmic Ninja, as you know, and this is Planet Zoo. This is one of the zoos I put together during free time. Um, it's still under construction in some areas, but it is mostly done, and I just wanted to show y'all what it looked like. Now, the entrance is the same generic entrance at the beginning. I didn't change that. I'm standing at the exit of it, looking towards the main what I call the main entrance into the actual zoo. Um, so we'll go forward. Now, if you look to the left and right, you'll see habitats in the distance. Um, you can't really see anything. My intention is to eventually have some animals in these two ponds right here that are just seen from the walkway. But going forward, we enter the grand building, the main lodge building. Um, this doorway leads to the employee areas, which is underneath everything. It's just an underground walkway leading to the other habitats, leading to all the employee spaces. But there's a staircase to the left, a staircase to the right. Um, there are windows everywhere looking out. Like right here, we can see some kangaroos. We can see the exhibit hall in the distance. If we turn around, we can see the main concourse. I tried to make it as inviting. I put a lot of the exhibits up here. Like here's the scorpions. Yes, I put the name on one side. I didn't put it on the other. I was in the process of going to move it up above where it's on this ledge right here. But these are the two scorpions in the game. They're the exhibits right here, and they can be seen from two sides. It's not just one sided. Um, on the far left is another walkway. It looks out over the American alligator and the crane, and then behind it is a bunch of restroom, vending machine areas, and of course the exhibit right there. So there's two sides to look at it. If you go all the way down and around, you'll come across the information desk in the very back, which leads to the exit stairs out to the rest of the park, the ATMs, and a view overlooking the mute swans. And then, of course, a employee pathway. On the far right, where we came in at, is the same thing vending, eats, all that, overlooking a wolf and the kangaroos. Um, we're going to go down the right side first and head towards the exhibit hall and the animals on this side. On the left, you'll see a polar bear exhibit in the far distance, the mute swans. Right now, I have the game paused. That's why no one's moving. Um, I have the egos. That's what they are. They're right here, lurking about. Down further is the kangaroos. You see a few of them there. You can see them from the windows right there. And then down on the left is the king penguin habitat. It has a huge display. It's an indoor building. Um, and this just ends down here. I'm not sure why that's not on. Get that turned on. We'll turn around, head back past the king penguins, Come over here to the flamingos. These are the greater flamingos. This is the employee entrance right here. I need to go actually into build mode. What's wrong with this bird? Oh, Corvette. It had died of starvation, which is weird. There's food all up here. I don't think there's a food basin back here in the back. I think it's all up front. That's the Greater Flamingos. Coming over here is the exhibit hall. We'll go inside here. On the left, we'll see a sign that says iguanas and spiders. This exhibit hall was fun to build because I put plants, I have trees, I coverings. I, I wanted to duplicate this kind of exhibit hall again later in another build. I just haven't done it yet, but it is awesome. Okay, this one is the snakes. The S is covered, but you can see part of it right here. That exhibit hall is empty because there's only 7 snakes in the game, but I didn't want this to be kind of off centered, so right now this is just how it's laid out. And then on the left side is the iguanas and the spiders, equally matched, equally set up. This took forever to build. I wanted to make it tranquil. We have the frogs over here on the left. Again, the empty one is just for, you know, equalization leveling out. It's not because it's missing a frog. There are no missing frogs. All the exhibit animals are in here. This one is not set up yet. This is what we call in progress. This is I was treating it as a new wing they added. And then over here is the beetles. I need to do something about those 2 plants. All right, made some progress. But anyways, it says beetles. And then in the very back is the beetles. That's the end of those exhibits. Over here is the door to the admin buildings. And then back here, it opens up to the flamingos and with some more seating, more vending and information. There are a few benches. Eventually, there will be tables and booths throughout here so they can sit. But there's a walk around path that allows them to look out over the greater flamingos, which does stretch all the way around this exhibit hall. Why is there so many dead flamingos? I'm gonna have to check on this exhibit real quick. This doesn't make sense. There's a lot of dead flamingos. And I know there's food. It's got its own entrance, its own. Something's not right. So we're going to set that up to be done. Alright. So, anyways, this was the, you know, great exhibit hall. And then back here in the back is the cafe, even though we can't see the sign. Um, and the lights. So, but yeah, that is that. I'm gonna have to replicate this building again. Just work on the signage placement. Leaving out of there, we're coming out over here. There are numbers on each of the bigger buildings because I wanted to treat it like a town. Right here is the polar bear um, exhibit or habitat. We're going to just jump past the glass real quick, see if we can see any of them swimming. Don't see any of them swimming. So we'll come back around to that. Figure out what's going on with that. We turn right here at the flamingos. We will come down to another administration hall path leading towards for the cats. I here is the Amur leopard. Here's its building. It's an animal that's in progress of being brought in. Its habitat is already built, just not finished. Down past that, we come to another crossroads. We're going to take a right and go over here to the giant otters. We actually are going to go down. See if we can't see any of them swimming. There's an entire viewing range underwater. It's not close up to the windows because I was planning to put like plants and stuff right there. So that there's a purpose to that. But anyways, see if any of them are swimming. There's borderline, on the line, into the water. What's up with not being in the water in any of these places? Um, Need to fix the light post. All right. If we had followed this path down in front of the building, there's a bunch of windows that look into the habitat itself above land. And I know there's great seals or otters. I know they're in here. Oh, there's one. Okay. I was like, because this one's done. This was at one time my hippopotamus habitat, and I moved the hippos. That's why it's a little bit strange why there's a viewing. All right, back here in the back, we come to another seating area with ATMs in the corner, um, admin section. To the left is a walkway down past the exhibit hall and the king penguins again. Here's more king penguins. Um, Ironically, we can see all those animals and they're just fine. So I'm not sure what's wrong with the flamingos. I usually don't have a problem with the flamingos. If we head back here past the giant otters, we come up to the African penguin, and they're much smaller, but here they are in their habitat. This was added later. It eventually leads down and around. Um, I'm not sure what the point of that is. But anyways, we'll take a left. There's nothing really down this back hallway. Um, it's eventually going to just turn into an employee walkway. But if we had come back down the walkway past the giant otters, we would have come up to that four-way where the leopard building started. Right here is the hippos. I moved them over, made the habitat bigger because they were complaining. But here's the hippos. Um, there's no barrier really because they don't climb, and the water is in between them and the actual openings. So, not really concerned about that. And it doesn't get any red flags. Um, and it's double sided, so that they can go both way, both ends and be seen. Um, back here eventually is going to be an open savanna park with more animals. Like I said, this one's still under construction. Um, but I wanted to have that construction feel like, the zoo is in progress and everything. Tracks being built. Um, the outer wall is already built all the way around. They just are. It's under, you know, construction. It's in progress. They started the process. If we further down to this pathway, we'll come to the American flamingo. And which one are you? The American alligator. So the other alligator over there was saltwater crocodile. Okay. These two are together. They get along fine. Um, this habitat got built because I had purchased the DLC at this time that gave me these TLs. So I wanted to showcase them, and I built this building, this, as you can tell, this brick thing all the way around it. Um, trying to tie in with different buildings and stuff, testing different designs. I do like the arches and stuff and the openness. Eventually, there's going to be a topper that kind of closes inward without having a full roof. Um, that pathway just goes on forever, and then we're to this backside over here. All right, we go up this pathway. We come to a crossroads. This takes us back down on the backside of the Flamingo American alligators and its entrance. I kept with the theme, but I put barriers so you can't look on all four sides. But over here is the African leopard. It's also under construction. This whole building is actually under construction because I originally had moose and other like the deer and stuff in this area, and I got rid of all of them and started building this giant building. It will have vending. It will have restrooms. It has the window. There will be plants here. It's going to be pretty. And then, there's the hippos. Um, it's called the Leopard Lounge Building. Um, but and the emerald leopards on the other side. So we're gonna go back this way past the flamingos and alligators, and come back to this backside. I think we have the snow leopard already because that habitat got finished. Yep, snow leopard. Got some trees. Already had some guests through here. Obviously, don't have trash cans back here, but there are some of the snow leopards. Um, the roofs are really tall because the trees are tall, but I needed it to be cold in here, so it's fully enclosed, other than this opening right here for them people to look through. And it's just an electric gate. It goes up to the top and then just says snow leopards. Um, all right, if we come back this way, we're on the back side. Um, we have the grizzly bear. We see a bear right there in the water right there. Um, we keep going. We obviously need to come through here and fix the terrain. And then we have the snow sun bear. I don't know if it's in the water or not. Here's its underwater area. Um, I had a lot of fun building this underwater area, putting plants and trees that have fallen into the water and stuff, and rocks. And so over here is an entrance. I need to fix that. It takes you up above to where you can look over into the habitat on both sides. Well, maybe not that side. And then over here is the polar bear. And you can see the polar bears in the distance. Alright. And taking the stairs all the way back down. A lot of construction happened on this backside, so that's why everything kind of looks different. We turn back here and go back down this way. We will come across what I want to call Central Park. You can walk through this park. There's gates, but there are also animals. I don't know where they're at. They're in here. The platypus, European deer. There's a speaking post. Oh, there's a deer. Oh, there's a deer in the walkway. There's a few. I didn't build these. These are the custom pre-built game ones, but I figured they work really good for this. Um, kind of went with it. There's not much in there yet. Comes out this other side to where the park stops. So we're going to turn left and go back this way. Um, hang a left, and then we're going to come up to the Queen's Building, um, or the Queen's Court Building, because it's called, King's Corner. This is the entrance to the lemurs. It's also a walk-through habitat. The ceiling is as high as the trees will permit. All three lemurs are in here. It's just an open walkway that kind of just weaves through. You'll see lemurs. There are actual lemurs in here. Um, and it just weaves through here. No rhyme or anything. Um, there is a little public talk spot for sure. I think there's several actually. Okay. And then through here, it leads to a small area which has vending and vending. I don't think it has any restrooms. I didn't think that there. Probably should have put a restroom. But if you keep going this way, we'll come to the Indian Peafowls, and it just winds through. It's an interconnected walkthrough experience on this building. Anyways, we're just gonna jump over here, and then we're gonna come over here, and it has some buildings. This part looks like it's still under construction. Right here is where the wall ends. This was part of it, as you can tell. Um, was all fully part of it and everything. I tore it down. It was not very popular. The animal that was in this one, and it was very hard to keep alive. So it was dissolved. That's why there's a door, a wall here now, and everything. So we're gonna cut through the employee area, which will take us out to this exit over here. All right. If we had stayed going past the Queen's Court building on the front side of Central Park in the main, signs, we would have come over here to the tortoises, the Galapagos and the other one. They're right here, very happy, very busy. And then on the other side is the Cougars. Wait, why is the CD not on? Okay, why is this TV not on? Where are the Cougars? The Cougars are gone again. These things have been really a pain to keep alive. This is their habitat. There's an area up here they like to get up to and sleep. It originally was not an area they could get to naturally, but after catching them jumping from here to here, I just built this, you know, made it possible, and they go sleep up here. And then, of course, the mute swan. We'll keep going down. This building is being built um, for a monkey. I have not decided. Here's the saltwater crocodile and the cranes. They stretch the entire length of this side, whereas the dingoes and kangaroos were on the other side. Um, but yes, this is our King's Crossing Zoo. I do hope you enjoyed this zoo. We'll go ahead and head back through the left side here. And take it on out. Now, if you like this zoo and want to continue seeing more updates on King's Crossing, please leave a comment, a like, and hit that subscribe button. More videos like this will come. There are other zoos that are in the works. And so, I just, with that being said, just want to say adieu and thank you for watching King's Crossing Zoo and Planet Zoo.